All right, everybody, time to check your sweet tooth. Are you addicted to sugar? Some studies in the field of nutritional science and medicine show that diets high in added sugar can be as addictive as some street drugs like cocaine. So cutting added sugar from your diet if you're consuming too much can have some powerful and significant and positive effects on your overall health. One of the most important numbers when looking at a nutritional profile is the line that says added sugar. According to the World Health Organization, the maximum number of grams per day of added sugar for women is 25, and for men, 37 to 38 grams per day. If you look at those labels, it can be so easy to be above what the World Health Organization recommends for added sugar for men and women. The Less Sugar Challenge is really about looking at those labels, adding up the number of grams per day of added sugar that you're getting, and just trying to reduce that. So in the world of nutritional science, this concept of sugar, and in particular added sugar, is controversial and it's complicated. For me as a nutritionist and a doctor, I focus on added sugars. Those are typically the sugars that can sneak into our foods in really insidious ways in things like ketchup or condiments, cereals, breads, and really add up by the end of the day. It's the hidden added sugars that I think are really a problem for so many people. There's actually been a very significant body of medical research, nutritional science research, that shows using a test called a functional MRI, that when people ingest foods that are high in added sugar, that the same part of their brain that gets stimulated when they get exposed to cocaine also gets triggered and stimulated with foods that are high in added sugars. In general, the more added sugar in a food, the more that brain reward center will be triggered, making you want more and more of it. There has been extensive published research in the nutritional science and medical science literature that links diets high in added sugar with increased risk of diabetes, obesity, certain cancers, heart disease, some mood disorders, skin problems, hormonal dysregulation, adverse pregnancy outcomes. The list goes on and on. What are the benefits to reducing the amount of added sugar you're getting in your diet? This really runs the gamut head to toe, from an improvement in your mood, cognitive abilities, skin complexion, dental hygiene, your oral health, gum health, cardiovascular health, weight management, metabolic function, you name it, it's been studied. So if you're looking to cut added sugar down somewhat in your diet, here are some tips. First, put more time and thought and effort into your food prep schedule. If you're tired, if you have a craving, you have greater chances of reaching for something that's high in added sugar than if you plan ahead and put things that are lower in added sugar in your arm's reach. And let's say you are really addicted to cookies, don't buy them. I know for me, if I have a bag of thin Oreos in the freezer, I'm going in there several times a day, so I actually just don't bring it into the house. Makes it a lot easier to avoid. Second tip is don't drink your added sugar. There are too many good things to eat. If you really have a sweet tooth, the last thing you want to do is be consuming a lot of that added sugar in the form of liquids or beverages. It can add up really fast. Next tip, read those labels. Added sugar is one of the most important lines on that label of every package. So turn it around, flip it over, just scan it for the added sugar, and remember those numbers per day. 25 grams of added sugar a day maximum for women, 37, 38 grams of added sugar a day maximum for men. Those are World Health Organization recommendations. And my last tip for cutting down on added sugar, tell people you're doing this. This is not easy. It's actually a lot harder than people think, and as the saying goes, misery loves company. You're more likely to be successful at something if you do it with a friend, a colleague, a coworker, a significant other. You can inspire each other, you can hold each other accountable, and it's just more interesting.